Hey, what's up, YouTube? Just want to check in with you all, let you all know that I ended up getting the Apple Vision Pro. I know in one of my previous videos when I was taking a slingshot out for a ride, it said Apple Vision Pro purchase failed, which I did fail that day, but I was able to pick it up the next day. And so just want to give you my take on it, on the device, and what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and how it stacks up to these other devices over here, the Meta Quest 2 and the Meta Quest 3. And so once again, I purchased the Apple Vision Pro on a Monday. This was almost 3 weeks ago, so it puts me outside of the return date, right? That return mark. To be honest with you and upfront with you all, I did plan on returning this device. I bought it. I wanted to test it out, see if I liked it. And fortunately enough for Apple, I liked it a lot, right? Unfortunately for me, through $3,500, broker at this point in time, because I do plan on keeping it. When I picked it up, I went through the demo. I'll give you a flash of the demo right now while I talk over it. It was pretty cool. I mean, I couldn't believe the capabilities of it when I sat there and they gave me the demo in the store, in the Apple store that I bought it from. And so I couldn't wait to get home and really put it on and start to test it out. And so when I got home, I tested it out. I let my children put it on, let them see what it was all about. Obviously they like to meet kids like anything, not anything, but kids like everything, right? Especially something like this, right? And so, long story short, on the 14th day, I packed it all up. I was ready to take it back. I put it in the car. I literally got in the car and I was driving to the actual store where I purchased it from. Not the same one I purchased it from, but it was a different store that I was going to that was closer to me, that, didn't have the blah, blah, blah. They didn't have the original one in my size. So I had to go further out. But anyway, I didn't go to that store. I went to another store. I was going to return it, but when I pulled up in the parking lot, I had to ask myself, I said, listen, is this something that you're going to return now, that you're going to purchase at a later date when something cool happens? Let's say a musician has a concert that you can go to on this thing and it looks like you're really there in person. What about if, it actually has the apps available at that point in time that you would like? What if you're going overseas for business travel or business trip? Would this be something that you would want to have? The answers to all those questions are yes. I mean, I'm not, knowing me, if at all possible, this wouldn't be my last Vision Pro, right? That's the reality for me. I know me, as long as I'm able to, I was going to purchase it again, whether it would be this model or a model in the future, right? I'm not going to go through my life and not own one of these things, God willing, right? And so I had to, be honest with myself and say, listen, yeah, it's expensive, but I want to keep it, right? And so instead of returning it, I left it in the car. Don't fault me for that, right? I left this in the car. I went into the Apple store and I looked at, different accessories. And so instead of returning it, get my money back, I actually went in and bought the battery clip for the clip for the battery. So instead of, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but putting a cell phone or putting a battery in your pocket is not the best idea in the world. And so I went ahead and purchased a clip for the battery. I think it was like $50 almost. The clip goes on your belt buckle so you can refrain from actually putting the battery inside of your pocket. So I went ahead and bought that, right? So instead of getting money back, I want to spend more money with Apple. I'm not the only one in the world who's done that, right? But essentially, the things that I like about it, I mean, the resolution is just amazing. The productivity on it is amazing. It's just like a laptop. It's just like a movie theater. I mean, you name it, it can do it. I think it has the ability for games and for gaming, but that's not what the app developers are really focused on, right? The Meta Quest 2 and 3, these things over here are for that, right? This is for productivity. When you're moving around, when you're traveling around, you want to watch a movie, by all means watch a movie, do some reports in Excel, type in Word, do some emails in Outlook, whatever it is that you need to do for productivity, this thing is capable of doing that, right? So I won't go through all of the cool features and how to click around in it and screen share and all that stuff. There's 100 million videos out there of it. This is just a real person giving you a real perspective of the Apple Vision Pro. Yes, it's really expensive. Yes, it's it's damn expensive, right? But is it cool? Yes, it's cool, right? Is it practical? Yes, it's practical. It's practical. When I say the usability is practical, yes, you can search the internet, you can do research on it, you can do emails, work in Excel, work in Word, so on and so forth. You can do everything that you want to do in it, you can do on it. But remember, this is not a gaming device, right? This is, if you're buying this thinking that you're going to be on here playing Call of Duty, playing NBA Live, or NBA 2K, this is not, I mean, I'm not saying it's not capable, I'm sure it's capable, but the reality is that it's not made for that. It's made for productivity. It's made to be a real VR device, right? And so when you see a lot of these videos on YouTube, people, why I returned my device, they have the thumbnails, looking sad, return. I mean, the reality is people are returning this device because it's so dang expensive, dude. Like, it's so dang expensive. I can't overstate that or understate that enough, right? It's really expensive. If this thing costs the same amount as the MetaQuest, I mean, by far will outsell. By far, it will outsell. These things wouldn't even be. It wouldn't even be compatible or comparable. People are listen. All these users, they return their device because it's expensive. It's not because this device sucks. It does not suck at all. If you can find these things to be cool, imagine what you could find this thing. With all the things that you can do on it. And so, the reality is that I'm saying that because, and I'm not saying that, in a derogatory way, I was going to do that as well. I was going to return it as well because it was so freaking expensive. But the reality is that I would have bought it again in the future. And a lot of the individuals who who returned their device, they're going to have an Apple Vision Pro again in the future, whether it's the Apple Vision Pro 1, 2, 3, whichever one. I mean, it's going to, you know how it is when the iPhone came out. Right, when the iPhone, I mean, everyone's going to have one of these things one day, and so why take it back? Why take it back when something cool goes on this summer or next winter and you want to be able to see what's going on, but you can't see what's going on because you don't have an Apple Vision Pro, because you returned it. I mean, you're going to just go out there and get it again at some point, right? I'm sure of that, right? I think eventually the price point of these things will stabilize. It will come way down. It won't always be $3,500. And I'm not even saying for this, but even the future generation ones, it won't be $3,500. I can't see that being the case. It's gonna be much cheaper than that. But once again, if you're looking for something for productivity, if you're looking for something that's cool, that's futuristic, and that it won't let you down, this is a device. If you're looking for gaming and if you want to, game with the family and all these things, this is not your device. The MetaQuest, either 2 or 3, those are going to be your device. The resolution on this device, it's second to none, right? It's way better than these devices over here. But the reality is that this device is used for something totally different than these devices over here, right? You can watch movies and all that good stuff on these devices. You can do the same thing on here. The movies look way better on this device, but this is full of games. This has some games, but it's mainly productivity and functionality on a day-to-day basis. And so that's my take on the Apple Vision Pro. I'm not returning it. I'm past that window. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to bank that Apple will have the apps that it needs. Oh, before I let you all go, I do want to tell you something that I don't like about it. The thing that I don't like about it is that there's only 2 things, right? Is a lack of apps, but that's just like anything else, right? If you have like an Xbox, the Xbox or PS5 when it first came out a few years back, you will notice that on the shelf, like, there's not many games or many things that you can play at that, when they first come out. Same thing with this. The App Store is not as robust as one would like for the price point. But once again, it's a brand new device and they're working through it. There's been new apps that came within the past couple of weeks. And so I'm pretty sure over time the App Store will be built. But that's one thing that I will say that I don't like initially. Another thing that I don't like is that the fact that Netflix and Apple haven't decided or haven't came to an agreement to where Netflix is going to put a put the app on the Apple Vision Pro, as well as YouTube TV is not available on the Apple Vision Pro. I'm sure, YouTube is very smart, Netflix very smart, Apple very smart. They'll figure out a way to make that available on these devices within the next months or years or so. I'm sure it's not going to be a big deal long term. But yeah, I mean, those are the things that I don't like. But the things that I do like about it far outweighs the things that I don't like about it, which is the reason why I'm keeping this device. I recommend, if you haven't done so already, but you're interested in it, schedule you a demo at an Apple store near you. They'll give you a demo. The demos are pretty cool. It'll have you want to walk out there with it. But yeah, I mean, go for it. I mean, check the demo out. See if you like it. If you're in a position where you're able to purchase it, give it a go. Right, you do have 14 days to return it. But if you're like me and you realize that if you return it, you're going to just spend the money again eventually, you go ahead and keep it. And so, hey, that's my take. I appreciate you guys tuning in, watching my simple review. I'm not the most technical person in the world, but I like cool stuff. And so, once again, my name is Meech. Like, comment, subscribe, share. I look forward to seeing you all soon. I do have some updates with the slingshot as well as the Fox body that I'll be talking to you all soon about. So check it out. I'll talk to you all soon.